Life has a way of taking unexpected turns, sometimes leading us into places we never imagined. Just when we think we have everything figured out, things begin to change. Plans fall apart, opportunities slip through our fingers, and the path that once seemed so clear suddenly vanishes into uncertainty. In these moments, it is easy to feel frustrated, lost, or even abandoned. But what if these changes are not meant to harm us, but to prepare us for something greater? What if the doors that close are not rejections, but divine interventions redirecting us towards something better? When everything in life begins to shift without warning, it can feel unsettling. You may find yourself wondering why things are happening the way they are. People who were once close to you may start to distance themselves. A job that felt secure may suddenly be taken away. A relationship you believed would last forever may come to an unexpected end. These moments are painful, but they are not without purpose. When God is about to bless you in a big way, He often removes the things that no longer serve you. He closes doors that would have led you down the wrong path. He redirects your steps to align you with His greater plan. It is in these moments of sudden change that faith is truly tested. It is easy to trust when everything is going according to plan, but real faith is built in the times when nothing makes sense. The human mind craves stability, certainty, and predictability. Yet growth often comes from the exact opposite. Growth comes from discomfort, from the unknown, and from being forced to step beyond what feels safe. When God is shifting things in your life, it is because He is preparing you for something beyond what you can see right now. The job you lost, the opportunity that fell through, or the relationship that ended might have seemed like losses, but in reality, they were stepping stones to something far greater. Sometimes the things we cling to are the very things holding us back. We become attached to certain people, places, or situations, believing that they are essential for our happiness, but God sees what we cannot. He knows when something has served its purpose in our journey. Holding on to what is meant to be left behind can keep us from receiving what is truly meant for us. When things begin to shift, it is an invitation to trust. It is a call to surrender control and believe that something better is on the way. There are moments when God will force you out of a situation because you would never leave on your own. You may feel an internal nudge, a growing discomfort, or a realization that something no longer feels right. It is often in these moments that external changes begin to happen as well. A sudden job relocation, a friendship that drifts apart, or circumstances that make it impossible to stay where you are. These changes may feel inconvenient, but they are necessary. They are not happening to destroy you. They are happening to position you for the next level. One of the most challenging aspects of sudden life shifts is the uncertainty that follows. When the familiar is taken away, it can feel like being thrown into the deep end without a life vest. The temptation to run back to what is comfortable is strong. But comfort zones are not where breakthroughs happen. The greatest blessings often come when we are willing to step into the unknown. When God is shifting your life, He is also stretching your faith. He is calling you to trust Him in ways you never have before. Sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a setup. Losing something you thought you needed may be the very thing that makes space for what is truly meant for you. If you never left that job, you wouldn't have found a career that aligns with your true calling. If that relationship hadn't ended, you wouldn't have been free to receive the love that was destined for you. If certain people had not walked away, you wouldn't have discovered your own strength. Every closed door is not a rejection, it is a redirection. There are seasons in life when everything feels like it is being stripped away. Friendships fade, financial struggles arise, opportunities dry up, and nothing seems to be working out the way you planned. It is easy to wonder if you are being punished or if you have done something wrong. But these seasons are often the ones that lead to the greatest transformation. Sometimes God has to remove everything familiar so that He can rebuild something far greater. When you feel like you are losing everything, you are often on the brink of gaining something much bigger. The reason life shifts suddenly before a blessing is because God is preparing you to receive it. You cannot walk into a new season with old habits, old mindsets, or old attachments that no longer serve you. The discomfort you are feeling is the process of being refined. It is the shedding of what is no longer needed. It is the transformation that must take place before you step into what is next. Resistance is a natural reaction to change. When things begin to fall apart, the instinct is to try and hold them together. We attempt to force things to stay the same, even when it is clear they are meant to change. But fighting against divine shifts only prolongs the process. The sooner we surrender, the sooner we align ourselves with what is coming. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting that what is ahead is far better than what is left behind. Not every shift will be dramatic. Sometimes the changes are subtle. A growing feeling that where you are no longer fits. A sense of unease that you cannot explain. Small obstacles that start appearing, making it difficult to continue in the same direction. These are warning signs that a change is coming. Paying attention to these signs can make the transition smoother. Ignoring them can lead to unnecessary struggle. When God is preparing you for something big, He will often stir something within you long before the external changes begin. One of the hardest parts of sudden life shifts is the waiting period that often follows. After something ends, there is usually a gap before the new beginning arrives. This in-between space can feel confusing. It is a time of uncertainty where it may seem like nothing is happening. But this is a critical time of preparation. It is a time to reflect, to heal, and to build the strength needed for what is ahead. If you find yourself in a season of waiting after a sudden change, trust that it is not wasted time. It is part of the process. People around you may not always understand the shifts taking place in your life. They may question your choices, doubt your path, or try to convince you to stay where you are. But divine shifts are personal. What God is doing in your life may not make sense to others, and that is okay. You are not meant to fit into the expectations of those around you. You are meant to walk the path that has been designed specifically for you. The discomfort of change is temporary, but the rewards that come from embracing it are lasting. What feels like loss in the moment is often the foundation for something greater. The pain of letting go is small compared to the joy of stepping into what is truly meant for you. Trust that every shift, every closed door, every unexpected turn is leading you exactly where you are supposed to be. When you are on the verge of receiving something significant, life often becomes more difficult. The journey that once seemed manageable suddenly feels overwhelming. Obstacles appear out of nowhere, people begin to oppose you, and situations that were once smooth become chaotic. It may feel like everything is working against you, like unseen forces are trying to stop you from moving forward. This resistance is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. Rather, it is confirmation that you are getting closer to a major breakthrough. Whenever something great is about to happen, challenges intensify because the opposition knows what is coming. Difficulties do not arise randomly. When a person is stagnant, when they are not pursuing growth or stepping into their purpose, they often experience little to no resistance. But the moment they begin to move towards something greater, the opposition increases. It is as if the universe tests your resolve, questioning whether you are truly prepared for the blessings ahead. Challenges come to strengthen, refine, and prepare you, ensuring that when you finally receive what is meant for you, you will be able to handle it. The process is not meant to break you, but to build the endurance required for the next level. Opposition can come in many forms. It may appear as unexpected setbacks, where plans that once seemed solid start falling apart. You might face financial difficulties that test your patience, health struggles that weaken your body, or emotional battles that make you question everything. The closer you get to a breakthrough, the more intense these battles become. Doors that should open easily might remain shut. People who once supported you may turn against you or disappear from your life. It can feel as though everything is working against you, but in reality, these struggles are indicators that you are moving in the right direction. People often face the greatest resistance when they're about to transition into something new. The discomfort and the struggles are not a sign of failure, but rather of growth. If you examine the lives of those who have achieved something significant, you will notice a pattern. Before their breakthrough, they faced immense challenges. Every great leader, every successful individual, every person who stepped into their divine purpose encountered opposition before reaching their destination. This pattern repeats throughout history because challenges serve as a refining fire, burning away fear, doubt, and weakness, leaving only strength and resilience. One of the most difficult aspects of facing increased opposition is dealing with the doubts that arise. When things do not go as planned, when every step forward is met with resistance, it is natural to question whether you are on the right path. Fear begins to creep in, whispering that maybe you should turn back, that maybe you are not strong enough, that maybe this is not meant for you. But fear is a liar. It seeks to distract, discourage, and deter you from what is coming. Fear magnifies obstacles, making them seem insurmountable, when in reality they are merely temporary hurdles meant to be overcome. During times of increased opposition, patience and perseverance are required. There will be moments when you feel exhausted, moments when giving up seems like the easiest option. But breakthroughs do not come to those who quit. They come to those who keep pushing forward, even when everything around them says to stop. It is in these moments of struggle that true strength is developed. Every challenge you overcome adds another layer of resilience, another level of wisdom, another measure of faith. Not all opposition comes in the form of external challenges. Some of the greatest battles occur internally. The mind becomes a battlefield where doubts, insecurities, and fears wage war against faith and confidence. Thoughts of inadequacy arise, convincing you that you are not capable, that you do not deserve what is coming. The enemy of progress is not always the obstacles in front of you, but the voices within you. Silencing these voices requires intentional effort. It requires choosing to believe in the vision placed within you, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. Opposition also manifests through the people around you. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will question your choices, mock your dreams, or discourage you from moving forward. People who once supported you may suddenly become distant, while others may actively try to hold you back. This resistance from others can be one of the most painful aspects of the journey. But when you are about to receive something big, not everyone is meant to come with you. Some relationships are seasonal, meant to teach you lessons, but not meant to last forever. Letting go of people who no longer align with your journey is part of the process. Resistance can also come in the form of distractions. When you are close to something great, distractions will appear to pull your attention away. Opportunities that seem good but are not meant for you will arise. Unnecessary conflicts will try to drain your energy. Things that once did not bother you will suddenly become sources of frustration. The purpose of these distractions is to divert your focus, to slow your progress, and to keep you from reaching your breakthrough. Recognizing these distractions for what they are is crucial. Staying focused on the goal, refusing to be swayed by temporary setbacks, is what ensures success. Challenges may increase, but so does the strength required to overcome them. Every battle you face equips you with the tools needed for the next stage of your journey. Opposition is a sign that you are not just moving, but moving in the right direction. It is proof that something powerful is on the horizon. Instead of being discouraged by difficulties, they should be seen as confirmation that something significant is coming. There comes a time in life when a person feels an unshakable restlessness deep within. It is not caused by external circumstances or temporary dissatisfaction, but rather an inner stirring that refuses to be ignored. This feeling arises when something greater is approaching, when a shift is about to take place, and when the current state of life no longer aligns with where one is meant to be. It is a divine signal, a quiet yet persistent whisper that says, there is more. This restlessness often begins subtly. A job that once felt fulfilling may start to feel routine and uninspiring. Relationships that once seemed stable may feel out of sync. The places that once brought comfort may no longer feel the same. Everything around may look the same, yet something inside feels different. It is as if an invisible force is nudging toward change, making it impossible to settle for what once felt acceptable. This is not a sign of discontentment or lack of gratitude, but rather an indication that growth is calling. When a person is about to receive something big, their mind begins to expand before their reality does. Thoughts that were once limited begin to shift. Ideas that once seemed too big to achieve suddenly feel within reach. Dreams that were once dismissed as impossible start to resurface with renewed urgency. This mental shift is a crucial part of the process, because before anything manifests in the physical world, it must first take root in the mind. The way one thinks must align with where they are going. A person cannot step into a new level of life with an old way of thinking. This kind of restlessness is accompanied by a strong sense that change is necessary, even when the details are unclear. There is an awareness that the current situation is no longer enough. It is not about dissatisfaction with the present, but rather a realization that something greater is waiting. This can be both exciting and unsettling because it often comes without clear direction. There may be a deep knowing that life is shifting, yet the next step remains hidden. It requires faith to embrace the unknown, trusting that the longing for more is not without purpose. Spiritual growth often accelerates during this time. The things that once provided comfort or distraction no longer feel satisfying. There is a greater desire for meaning, for connection, for something deeper than material success or worldly validation. A person may find themselves drawn to reflection, prayer, or seeking wisdom in ways they never did before. This is because when something big is coming, the spirit must be prepared to receive it. The level of faith, patience, and understanding required for the next stage must be developed in advance. This period of spiritual growth can also bring a heightened sense of awareness. Patterns and behaviors that once went unnoticed suddenly become clear. Unhealthy attachments, limiting beliefs and fears that have held a person back begin to surface, demanding to be addressed. Growth requires shedding the old to make room for the new. This process is not always comfortable because it often means confronting painful truths, letting go of familiar but unhelpful habits, and stepping into uncertainty. But with this discomfort comes clarity. What once felt confusing begins to make sense. The purpose behind past struggles becomes more apparent. Inner restlessness also manifests as an increased desire for purpose. The routine of daily life may start to feel meaningless without deeper fulfillment. Work that once seemed sufficient may no longer align with personal values. Success that once felt rewarding may start to feel empty without a greater sense of impact. This is because when something big is coming, a person is being called to step into their true purpose. The things that once provided comfort begin to feel restrictive because they are no longer meant to be permanent. This shift in mindset leads to changes in the way one views challenges. What once seemed like obstacles now appear as lessons. What once felt like setbacks now look like redirections. The understanding that everything happens for a reason becomes clearer. There is a stronger ability to let go of things that no longer serve a purpose because there is confidence that something better is ahead. This does not mean struggles disappear, but the perspective on them changes. Instead of resisting change, there is an ability to embrace it. Instead of fearing the unknown, there is trust in the process. There may also be a growing impatience with the ordinary. Conversations that lack depth may feel draining. Environments that lack inspiration may feel suffocating. The desire to break free from anything that limits growth becomes stronger. This is not arrogance or superiority, but rather an internal shift toward alignment. When a person is being prepared for something greater, their energy begins to shift. They no longer resonate with things that do not match their new level of growth. This can lead to outgrowing certain relationships, habits, and even old versions of themselves. During this time, intuition becomes stronger. There is an inner knowing that cannot be explained logically. Decisions that once required deep analysis now come with a sense of clarity. Gut feelings become harder to ignore. The more one leans into this intuition, the more aligned they become with what is coming. Doubts may still arise, but the pull towards something greater remains undeniable. The process of transformation can feel isolating at times. When a person starts to evolve, not everyone will understand their journey. Friends and family may question the changes. Some may feel uncomfortable with the shift, while others may resist it. This is because growth often separates before it elevates. Not everyone is meant to continue on the journey, and that is okay. The people who are meant to be part of the next chapter will naturally align, while those who are not will fade away. This restlessness is not something to be ignored or suppressed. It is a divine signal that a shift is happening. The mind is expanding, the spirit is growing, and life is preparing to elevate to a new level. Everything happening internally is a reflection of what is about to manifest externally. The longing for more is not accidental. It is a calling towards something greater.